Hey everyone, it's Sandra here with another great wellness topic. So, today we're going to be talking about stress and different ways that we can manage the stress in our life. So, it is May, and May is Mental Health Awareness Month, which is why I wanted to bring up this topic now. I know we've talked about it in the past, but I think it's really important to revisit it and make sure that we're always thinking about the stresses in our lives and how we can best manage them. Now, we all have different types of stress in our life, right? So, you might be having stress from work, maybe it's family, maybe it's your health. Could be a number of things, could be all of those things, who knows? But what's really important is that we find constructive ways to manage our stress, because stress is going to impact you negatively both physically and emotionally. So it's really important that we have it under control. Now, I know not every stress in your life will you truly be able to really minimize or even get rid of. Some are just out of our control. And the sooner that you can kind of realize or understand which stresses are within your control and which stresses are outside of your control, the better off you'll be. If you keep trying to control what you can't actually control, what you have no control over, that's going to cause even more stress. And that's obviously what we are trying to avoid here. So I want to go through a few different ideas that I have for you in terms of how to manage or minimize your stress. But I would love for everybody to comment on this post and share how you manage your stress. So, feel free to take these as thought starters. Feel free to use them as is. Feel free to modify and adjust them to what you feel like is going to work best for you and the types of stress that you have in your life. So the first one I have, probably not surprising if you know me, is exercise. So yes, I am a personal trainer. Exercise is very near and dear to my heart, and exercise does a ton of great things for us. But in terms of stress relief, what it does is it helps to lower some of our stress hormones like cortisol, and it also increases hormones like endorphins. Endorphins are those feel-good hormones. That's what puts us in a really good mood. If you exercise, or if you've ever heard that term runner's high, that's what that is. So those are all really great things. Exercising can also just give you a bit of a confidence boost. So it will just make you feel better about yourself. You're getting stronger. You're probably starting to look leaner and things like that, maybe losing weight. All of that helps to improve our confidence. Another way to reduce your stress is to meditate. So I know we've been doing a lot with this over the course of the last few months, and we're definitely going to continue it. But what meditating does is it really just helps to kind of calm and relax you, to center you. So if you're still having a hard time with it, or maybe you haven't even tried it, start with just a couple minutes at a time, and you can kind of build your way up from there. You don't have to go kind of, I have to do 30 minutes or an hour, right at the start. Even just a couple minutes every day is going to help. Also, what you can do is, if you want to try and incorporate maybe some yoga that has a little bit of meditation with it, which a lot of forms of yoga do, that way you get your exercise in with your meditation. So you kind of get the best of both there. And if you're kind of intimidated by meditating, if you incorporate other things with it, that may help you there as well. Also, if you're kind of not keen on meditating, or maybe just not quite there yet, if you even just take a minute or two to pause and take a few deep breaths, that will help you in just about the same way that meditating will. So it just kind of forces you to take a little break from everything that's going on around you, and it just kind of naturally helps to calm you. Diffusing essential oils or lighting candles is another great way to relieve stress. If you think about the different types of scents, you can kind of Google, what scents are calming or relaxing. But lavender and frankincense are definitely two big ones. Lavender is probably a little more prevalent as you go out and look at things, a little bit easier to find, but both of those are really great options. You may not like this next one, but lowering your caffeine intake is going to help with your stress. So it doesn't mean that you have to get rid of caffeine completely, don't worry. But if you can limit it to maybe 1 to even maybe 3 cups of coffee a day, and by cup, I mean 8 ounces, not our big, huge things that a lot of us are drinking out there. But as you get to have more and more caffeine, that actually can increase your level of anxiety, which obviously is not going to help our stress levels. Another really great way to manage our stress is by keeping a journal. So write things down. Write down how you're feeling. Write down the kinds of things that you feel like are causing stress in your life. And write down the impact that it's having on you so that you can see, when this stress happens to me, this is how I feel. This is how I behave. This is how I react. All of those things, so you can see that and, kind of get out all the negative. That's absolutely fine. But then I also want to make sure that you're thinking about the positive in each day. So write down, what went really well that day. What were some of your successes? Or over time, as you have those same stresses in your life, maybe how are you better able to deal with them? What kinds of things have you come up with to help you handle those? And that's going to be really great for you to see and kind of keep track of over time what's working well for you and maybe what's not working so well for you. This next one's a pretty easy one: chewing gum. Who knew? So chewing gum, like if you're just chewing naturally and normally, that actually helps to calm you a bit. But if you chew like really roughly, that actually helps get rid of stress. So either way kind of works pretty well for helping with our levels of stress. Another really great thing is just to simply spend time with the people that you love, family, friends, whoever it might be. This probably sounds like a no-brainer, but I know in our busy lives sometimes the things that we know are important to us tend to get pushed to the back burner. So it's a matter of making sure that you're prioritizing those things, especially in those times where we do get extra busy and extra stressed out. It's going to be even more important. This next one I know is a tough one for a lot of us, but learning to say no. So it might be at work, it might be with family, it might be with friends, whatever it is, but learning to say no. And I know we all want to feel like people can rely on us. We always want to be helping people, but sometimes we have to really learn what our limits are and what kind of impact it's having on our own lives. We can't always be putting others first. Sometimes we have to put ourselves first so that we can then in turn take care of others as well. Take time to laugh. So laughter is the best medicine. That is a saying for a reason. So, enjoy that time with friends, laugh with friends, go out, go to a comedy show, watch a funny movie, whatever it is, but laughing is truly helpful. And then finally, I mentioned this in the beginning, but it's definitely worth reiterating. But make sure that you understand which stresses in your life you can control, which is probably more than you think. So I want you to really think about that truthfully and honestly with yourself. What do you have control over? But then also, what do you maybe not have as much control over? And don't focus as much on those. Yes, work to come up with, some of these different techniques that will help you to manage that stress, but don't try to change what you know cannot be changed. Focus on changing what you can change. So those are the tips that I have for you. So I would love for you to comment, share your thoughts on this topic. How do you manage stress in your life? And we can all learn a little something. Thanks so much.